All right, friends, we're going to do a reaction video to Jason Blaha. His new video. He just, again, as usual, he posts every 24 hours. Or should I say every 5 hours, he's posting a video. Anyway, it's T-Man, and we're going to react to his video. Jason Blaha, the gym lifting, recruiting fitness, gym fitness, gear slave himself, you name it, Blaha. Blaha says, the fastest method for getting a Hollywood-type aesthetic physique. Okay.
For guys who are just trying
He must be the foremost expert on this, on the topic. Yes.
to get aesthetic quickly, there's actually some simple tips for doing that. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought
I know, what are they? Take drugs.
I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today.
Sure.
You know, the things I do want to state up front, obviously you
Yes.
want a well-developed physique,
Yes, Blaha.
right? You do want to build
do.
everything. You should probably train every muscle in your body.
Yes,
You should
yes.
definitely train your legs. You should train everything.
No,
right? So we
really?
need to be
Like, we're
clear
gonna
on
leave
that
those
up
out.
front. But for the guys who are just trying to get
Like, do you think that we were going to leave out any of the muscles, the muscle groups, dude? Come on, man. Yeah, we were just going to train our pinky fingers and leave everything else out, even our legs. Okay.
you know, that aesthetic physique as quickly as possible, and they know it's going to take years and years of stuff.
Yeah, it's called drugs. Get it? If they want quickly, because they work in Hollywood. They don't have time. They're making movies. Why the fuck would they do anything natural? They don't care. They're not trying to build something real. They're fucking getting paid. I think people are daft out there, brain dead, just like Greg Doucette, talking about, are they naughty or not, the people in Hollywood? Now they're talking about people in Hollywood. What the fuck do they care? That's like saying, do these fake bodybuilders on stage, do they take drugs? Like, come on, man. They're competing. They're not doing it for trying to get girls and trying to do this, trying to do that. And if you're taking steroids, cosmetics to get girls, well, good luck with that, because when the cosmetics wash off, underneath those girls, you know what they look like? Frankenstein, dude.
On the sort of muscle they
So
want,
you.
but they are looking for that look, and it's not quite the look I personally have at the moment because I'm thicker and everything. But with a lot,
He's thicker and everything. He's fat. Blaha is fat. He eats carbohydrates. Did you see his basket? His food basket is filled with carbs. If you're eating carbs, you're fat. End of story. I ate carbs, and guess what? They made me look fat. I don't eat carbs anymore, so I look extremely muscular. I don't look fat at all. I don't have any inflammation anywhere, because there on my ankle was the worst part, where I had these fucking metal things put in my ankle. It was always inflamed when I ate carbs, but it looks so lean. My feet are so lean right now. Christ, when I look at my ankle and my feet, there's no inflammation there, and they're so bloody lean. Like, everything is so lean, like my wrists, everywhere I look, my arms. Fuck, man, it's just lean everywhere. And that's from eating a natural diet, meat, as a carnivore. When you don't eat carbs, they just make you fat. They domesticate you by how? By making you fat. That's why I say, how do you domesticate a boar into a pig? You feed him a fake diet, get it? And he gets fat, carbs, and he becomes fat. How does he become domesticated? By getting fat. Look at these cows. They're big and fat. They're big, they're huge, they're fat, whatever. They feed them all day. They don't feed them the correct diets all the time, these cows. Now, I'm not saying if they eat grass, right? They're raised on a farm, they eat grass. Yeah, the cow can still be okay, for sure. But if they start feeding them greens and fucking corn stalks and shit, watch out. But like I said, how do they domesticate animals? They feed them an unnatural diet, and then you become fat. See that? Look at humans. They're fat. Why? They're fat when they walk around. Everybody's fat out there. They're not lean and muscular like they would be in nature. See what I mean? That's why they're unattractive. Carbohydrates, you lose your attractiveness by eating carbohydrates. Look, here's the thing. When you see these guys, you go, oh man, get ripped. Well, that's just stupid to say, hey, get ripped. What you're trying to really tell the person is undomesticate yourself. Stop eating food that makes you look unattractive. That's why people like people that look ripped, because they look attractive. You look attractive when you're muscular. You're lean and muscular on your natural carnivore diet as a carnivore. But if you're eating fucking all this crap, what did you expect? You domesticated yourself. You got a round face, a moon face, a fat face. It destroys your looks. It destroys everything, your attractiveness, your body and everything. You look smooth. You don't look good. Yeah. See what I mean? And so Blaha finally figured that out on his own. Get it? Look at him, man. He's chasing the dream, bro. But he's never making it.
My clients, we see this. I have clients who get that look, and a lot of people notice it. You know, they're down at 160, 170, but lean with abs. They're not up over 200 pounds like me.
Yeah, where are these clients? Please show me. Where are they? Where? I don't see you posting anymore.
But oftentimes we get that look relatively quickly, and it's pretty straightforward in a lot of ways. But I used to do it a little different, and I've changed it up over the years. I used to just...
He used to do it different? He's always been a fat pig. And all of a sudden he discovered bodybuilding, which he hated. He detested bodybuilding. Remember how he talked about it? G for P and all this, blah, blah, blah. Man, he used to rant and rave, hated bodybuilders, hated bodybuilding, hated everything. Want to know why? Because he hated himself, because he sucked at it. He showed himself younger trying to take up bodybuilding. It didn't work for him. And he said he was taking drugs in the past, taking drugs now. I don't know. Maybe he's been taking drugs forever and they don't work for him. Or maybe he's not even taking drugs anymore. Maybe it's just a lie, because I don't see that cosmetic look on him, man. This just looks too average. He looks very average. It doesn't look cosmetic-y.
Be like, look, we just do powerlifting. We used to just put them on conjugate type training.
Maybe the drugs are fake.
And we would diet down lean and just do tons and tons of delt work, right? Tons of delt work. What I've done, though, over time, I've come to realize I don't necessarily...
As long as I've known Blaha, he's never gotten lean and done tons and tons of delt work and gotten lean, ever. This is the first time I've ever seen him on his channel. You can look through his entire channel. This is the first time I have ever seen him get lean, ever. And become a lifting slave, 24 hours in the garage.
Need to chase a specific powerlifting type program or conjugate or anything else to get guys that look. This stuff I've refined over the years. Really, we just get good at your basic lifts. We just get good at them. We stack on muscle, and we use the same approach.
When we just stack on muscle, muscle has a nuclear domain size limit. What are you stacking there? You can say anything. This is crazy. These crazy influencers, they could say anything, bro. You're stacking on muscle. But none of you out there are stacking Jack G. Get it?
Tons and tons of shoulder work. And I would go so far as to say for a lot of guys, you could just do my big 5 or my big 6. Focus on those, right? What are they? Squat.
Yes, that's it. Focus on those. Squat. What else is it? Deadlift? What?
Deadlift.
Yeah.
Bench press, and it could be incline. I mean, I almost feel like...
Squat, deadlift, bench press, and overhead press. I don't know why people always forget the overhead press. That is... And even, look, everybody knows this, and even I know, and everybody knows, overhead press is the hardest lift that you could ever do, because it's upper body strength, and you're going against gravity. You're going in the opposite direction, okay?
For the guys who are chasing the aesthetics, they could, in theory, do incline instead of flat for that. Not saying I recommend it for everyone. It's going to depend on your structure. If you have a really small rib cage, though, you're going to end up being bird-chested, so I would be careful of it. But for the guys who are a little bit thicker rib cage and stuff, guys like me, it wouldn't be a bad approach, right? Coming in, but you could do barbell incline instead, in theory. So then it would be,
I guess you could.
Squat, deadlift. We would want to just do incline bench. I always recommend pull-ups. Right? We want to get good at pull-ups, and I recommend the barbell curl. Now, realistically, could they do some other tricep work, some calf work? Absolutely. Of course, not a bad idea. But I would say if you got those 5 out of the way, come in and hammer your shoulders all day long, right? And I would say very, very high volumes of shoulder work. What we come over to what is my possible big 6 includes the overhead press. So that kind of works in, doesn't it? And when I say do lots of shoulder work, I would say for those guys, come in and really just maximize it, push it to the limits, and work your delts from every angle, right? Work them from every angle, just maximize your shoulder development at that point. So, I mean, we're talking upright rows, lateral raises, front raises, rear delt flies,
Yeah, whatever, Blaha.
overhead pressing, everything. You could even throw in shrugs and stuff if you wanted it. That wouldn't even be, a horrific idea. Wouldn't be a terrible idea in terms of doing that. I don't think that's a bad idea at all. It's not a bad approach. However, I would throw the caveat in that you do need to be careful about getting too much trap if you don't have really wide shoulders already, because that will ruin your aesthetic. So that is one thing I would say for, because that will ruin your aesthetic. So that is one thing I would say for a lot of those guys. Given a
Wide shoulders would ruin your aesthetics? What?
choice, I would much rather see them put that same effort into maybe more rear delt work than really direct traps. You need to be pretty big and pretty wide already to really benefit from a lot of upper trap. Otherwise,
You gotta love this guy with these elastic bands up and down. What are you trying to do here? Burn out your muscles? Burn them out?
if you're not careful, okay, it will detract from that look. Again, if you're narrow shoulders. So it's kind of like we come over to, if a guy's going to address that. Just like we said, look, a flat versus an incline. Just something to think about. I mean, I would make the case, though, that in the long term, you really should develop everything. I'm talking down to your forearms and calves. Everything should be developed. Realistically, you should maximize all the muscle. But what are we talking about? We're talking about the guys who don't have time yet to do that. They're like, look, I want to get there as quick as I can and know.
Didn't Blaha say that he has a very high IQ and that it would go above people's head if they found out how high his IQ was? Well, it don't look very high to me, being a lifting slave here in the garage. How high of an IQ could you have if you have imprisoned yourself to a prison called the garage, lifting man-made weights 24 hours a day, bro, in the garage, aging yourself, accelerated aging, and eating a slave food diet? Loss of hair, teeth are rotten, crooked, and this well below average physique and height of a man, a specimen of a man here. Oh, man.
That I'm going to need another 5, 6, 7 years to really get where I want to be, but how do I get that look, a little bit more of that Hollywood look, that really athletic and aesthetic type physique as quickly as possible? And it really...
You don't get the Hollywood aesthetic, whatever physique, as quick as possible unless you take what they were taking, drugs. That's how you get it. You want to know how you get that Hollywood physique? Here's the truth. Just do what they did. Take drugs. Okay? Now, if you want to look like those competitors on a stage, which is ridiculous because you can't look like that all the time walking around naturally, but hey, just take drugs. Get it? Just take what they did. Drugs. There you go. See? Problem solved. It's very easy. Very easy.
is just build everything up quick, build a good strength base, get as lean as you can, but really focus on the delts, right? And the reason...
You don't have to build up a strength base. If you inject strength in you, you're going to be strong. You can lift anything heavy. If you inject a large amount of strength in your butthole, get it? It's really simple. How are apes able to lift very heavy? Well, they definitely do have a lot more fiber count than a human being does. Muscle fibers, that for sure. They have very high testosterone. Why? Because they have a lot of muscle. The more muscle you have, the higher the testosterone, because it has to proliferate through the fibers. So these apes, they have very high testosterone. So they're very strong because they have very high testosterone that proliferates through the muscle fibers. Okay. So if you inject steroids in your asshole, will you be able to lift heavy? Of course. Of course. There you go. You've injected strength. So there you go. You've got strength. See what I mean? You're strong. You injected steroids. They're wonder drugs. You inject them, they make you into Superman. You feel like Superman. You're super strong. You can lift super heavy. You can bench press super heavy, 500. You can pull 700, 800 off the floor. You can do a bunch of shit with steroids. That's their job. They enhance your performance. They're a drug. They're a chemical. Boom. You inject it, boom. Instant strength. Get it? Through the roof.
For that, the delts in the upper chest really are the muscles that are going to increase that look the most. Again, pointing out this is just if you're looking for a shortcut to get that look, knowing that the long term, the full look is going to take more. It's going to take more time. But
No, it's not. Not if you take drugs.
but delts and shoulders and upper chest, as long as nothing else is lagging, those being a little overdeveloped is going to tend to be where people get most of that look from. It really is. Just that as you get bigger, they obviously need to be proportionately bigger. Right? They need to be proportionately bigger.
I would definitely say you should work on every body part. But I don't have one body part that lags behind any other body part. They're all proportionate. In every muscle group in my body is proportionate. There isn't anything that's unproportionate. I don't understand how a person can have unproportionate body parts unless, of course, they didn't pump enough of the sarcoplasm in there, the sarcoplasmic fluid in there. See what I mean? I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I seen some people online, they go, I'm doing this arm wrestling stuff and look how big my thumb got and everything. I just keep pumping it with this thing. I do it 40 days in a row, non-stop, every single day. Well, you don't get adaptations like that. There's no more nuclei. The nuclei aren't getting bigger, so what's getting bigger in there? The sarcoplasm. But they're going to go, yeah, but I got a lot stronger. I can move this guy's arm down. Yeah, because you got more neural drive and androgen receptors to pull that because you've been moving a weight around. You adapted to the weight to move it. Get it? In real time. Your body didn't adapt by getting more muscular adaptations. That's that size you got. That's sarcoplasmic fluid. People are just fucking out to lunch out there. I don't know, man. They're brain dead.
And then once you've done that, it's a matter of just getting really lean. So I would say that's the other thing that guys need to think about is dieting down lean.
Dieting down lean. If you gain sarcoplasmic muscles and you diet down lean, you're going to be in for a big shock. There's not going to be anything there. You're going to go back to normal, and then you're just going to get lean. And you're going to look super skinny, and everybody's going to tell you you lost weight. Here's what happens to people when they try to get lean. All that phony muscle goes away, and everybody's like, hey, you lost weight, you lost weight, you lost weight. Well, definitely you lost some weight because you're getting leaner. You're losing some body fat, but you lost a lot of the sarcoplasmic fluid in your muscle, which will deflate you like crazy.
And then lean bulking up. And
me personally, that doesn't happen to me because my muscle, it's real. It's real. I just have a lot more muscle on my body because I went through phases of damaging, repairing, and remodeling them. I shot for adaptations. Unlike other people going to the gym, they're adapted and they can't figure out why they're not growing. And then they're like, maybe in 10 years, maybe in 20 years, I'll finally gain 5 pounds or 10 pounds. 10 years rolls around, 15, and they still look the same. And I'm like, bro, you're still here? You look the same. And they go, what are you doing? That's why I love this thing. When I remember coming into the gym and I started moving for adaptations at Bally's, and all of a sudden these guys saw me, I got big fast, and they're like, that's because he does those heavy squats. And then the other guy's like, that's because he takes all that time off. He just comes in once a week. And then they forgot the third part. The third part was I was going down to Abacus, the buffet. I went down the road, down the street to that buffet for $6.99 back in those days. All you can eat lunch buffet. It was amazing too for $6.99. Shit, you're not gonna find that anywhere these days. But anyway, so I went there and I would eat after my full upper body, and then the next day my legs. I go there and eat for the next 5 hours, and then the rest of the week I would eat. 1 or 2 more days I'd go to the buffet. Then I'd kind of relax a bit for the last 2 days before I would come into the gym, and then I would lift again. Yeah. So throughout the week, I would eat like that to be in a very positive nitrogen balance, anabolic, so I could keep growing these muscles so they can repair and remodel quickly. Go back to the gym and then damage them again. Hit them harder than the last time. Get it? That's the point. Yeah.
Because you're going to need to be lean enough to have visible abs. You want your waistline as small as possible. So here's what you're looking at. Here's what you're looking at to pull that off.
Yeah, you want your waist as small as possible. Well, they have these wraps. You can wrap your waist. They have these elastic things. You wrap your waist to these, whatever. You wrap them to shrink the fat around that area. People do that.
You need your shoulders as wide and as developed as possible, and your waist as small as possible. So,
Well, he's one to talk. Your shoulders as big as possible and your waist as small as possible. Well, I don't see any shoulders there. And as far as his waist, it's thick.
if a person is chasing that, that's the goal.
Yeah,
Now,
that's the goal, yes.
again, you do need to build everything. I mean, all the way down to your calf should probably be built, your forearms, everything. But what really creates that look is leanness, having a V taper, having wide shoulders, and a smaller waist. Like, that's what achieves that look. And again, not quite the look I personally have at the
The
moment.
tapered look, I would not disagree with Blaha. Yeah, the tapered look, definitely, yeah.
But I have clients who have it, and this is how we go about doing it. So in a lot of ways,
Okay.
though, I just train them for just size, train them for strength. Like I said, I've historically often done just powerlifting type training, but with super tight diets, cardio, fasted cardio, and we just hammer their delts. Their delts and upper chest, so it's a lot of incline work, a lot of overhead pressing, a lot of lateral raises, right? Upright rows, whatever we need to do just to build those shoulders and upper chest all day long. You need to absolutely maximize those. So any extra recovery time, and training time you have can go towards those areas, because that's what's going to tend to do that for guys. Okay. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys.
Very informative. See you in the next one, friends.
And gals next time.
See you in the next one. Tell us what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Ciao, friends.